Alright, we just finished dressing our lap, so we got a nice crisp line matching back up with the polished here. Halfway in the middle of the spoon there. Along this edge here you can see the rolled over gloss, and back from that edge you can see the frosty color from the lap, kind of telling you that basically this is radiused here. This has got a nice lap fit. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to assemble this, and I've machined all the keys from 1/2 inch stock down to 12 millimeter. Basically we're just taking about 28 thousandths off the width. Now your keys should tap into the shaft and slide freely through the propeller. And you'll see by the way I put it up here that I've already checked the fit on the propeller and it slides freely. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're just doing a Sharpie contact, and this is kind of like the last double check of everything, making sure that for our customer and the service that they have done by assembling and putting this all together for them by the yard, that I have created the perfect scenario to actually obtain a perfect fit. It doesn't mean that it'll be put in place and 100% fit up unless it is done on board the same as I do here. Making sure there's no debris between everything. And we get the prop sitting up here. We know we got a good slide right there. Alright. Nice church bell sound. We know that the wheel made 100% contact with that shaft and it's solid. Otherwise it wouldn't have rung like that. Alright, now while we have it on there at the same time, we're going to go ahead and check, because this is metric shafting and we got standard nub end on here. It was my choice to go ahead and do this, and I need to take a measurement because I'm going to make a washer surface and machine at the same time, machine that fat nut down slightly just so that our cotter pin can pass all the way through there and it'll be a nice snug fit. And it looks like about 1/16 of an inch off, which that's about what it'll take to go ahead and machine this face to be a nice washer surface. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop her loose, and we're going to see what we got for a transfer there. And we're happy with our boost. We're heavier up here, but we can see the trace here and in the bore, just as I've shown in my past videos of contact there. Alright. We're happy with this end here. We're going to double check and do the same for the port prop. And then we're going to be turning around. We're going to be doing the fit and face of the couplings. And then we're going to get into machining the finish on this coupling here that we braced up as well. And we got to broach the keyways a little bit deeper. They have real shallow keys, and I like to give them a little bit better key grip on as a safety factor. We've finished doing our lap fit. We fit the key to this shaft. We put the coupling on here, mounted it on up tight, and you can see the keyway and the spooned area right there. Alright, now we got to machine this register and this face here to complete our shafting job. Now I'm going to reach in with a regular boring bar that we normally use here, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it and run it upside down and then we're going to take a pair of spring calipers and measure for our bore. Now I'm going to set this in here. Now I need to know that height that I want, and here again we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our tool bit and we're going to come around here, and then I can measure up from here, because a long time ago when I first got the lathe and I found out where center was in relationship to this surface right here, I wrote it down, and it's 6 inches 230 thousandths. And that's where I'll set this. So, but first I'm going to go ahead and set the bit itself at the right angle so that I can come in and actually have the cut working for me here. And making sure that we have enough clearance. Got to rotate it just a little bit. Okay. Okay, that looks good. I like that. Okay, bring it out here just a little bit. Alright, now that we got our bit rotated in the direction we want, now we go and we bring it over here, and then we go and we raise it up here, and we can give our it can be just a little bit higher than center. That'll be fine, and I think we're going to be happy with that. That's like 6,240 or so. I need to set this with a tool bit here. Or a piece of key stock really works well. Alright, now we can go ahead and we can put that over here. Put this down here like that. We're at the right height. Now we're going to loosen up our tool post here, and we can pivot this around so we get the right tool angle. Clearance here, clearance on the face there, but yet we can come in and hit that surface there without hitting our tool post or our tool holder to the shaft. I think that might be a good spot. Let's kind of do a dummy test here, and we're in there more than enough. There we go. Alright, now we're going to run this in backwards, and we're going to go ahead and be feeding that way, a real fine feed, and that should let us take and turn that diameter out to the right size, which is about 3 inches and 2 or 3 thousandths. You just want a couple thousandths over the 3-inch nominal so it'll slip onto the register of the shaft. Okay, we're all set. Now we're going to come in here and we're going to touch and set 0. Alright, we're skipping right there. We'll set 0 on our dial. Alright, we just mic'd it out. A dummy mic here at 2 inches 940. So we're going to take 10 thousandths just because it's not round, and we want to get something that is round. Travel dial here at 0. Okay, 953. Take another 10. Uh, 972. Alright, so we got about 18 to 20 thousandths to go before we get right at that 3-inch diameter there. Okay, we just took a 5,000 skim thinking it'd be our last one there, and I'm measuring this anywhere from 3 and 2 thousandths, or 3 and 1/2 thousandths, and I'm thinking I want just a little bit more in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take another thousandths cut on here, and then when I get down to the bottom, I'm going to take a face cut on the bottom of that register there, just so it kind of smooths out all that material there. And then we're going to come out to the outside and we're going to skim cut the face. Okay, we just came in and I stopped because I knew the camera wasn't in the right position, so I wanted to switch you around. I'm all the way in at the bottom of the finished cut. Then we're going to come in and we're going to clean that little face in there. And I'm just feeding it straight in. Okay, so it's not cutting all the way. So now we're going to go ahead and we're coming into that face by 10 thousandths. Now we're feeding it out. Alright, now we'll just check our dimension here one more time. It should just make a slight bit of difference here. That's all we were looking for, is knowing that we're just over 3, and I think we're just over 3 now. I like that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put in one of our other bits in here to take care of that face. Alright, we got one of our left hand CNMPs in here, and that's what we're going to be doing our face work with. And I think we've got our feed and our speed pretty well set up here. I do want to go ahead and add a little towelette down here, and this is to catch the majority of the chips and this debris, flakes and flux and all of that stuff that's on here from just, you know, I can contain most of it right there so it doesn't go into the way area before I get a chance to clean it completely up. Okay, she's skipping pretty good there. We're going to give it another couple thousandths here. Here we go. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing there. One little hole there, but I mean it's far cry from what it was. It was pretty well ratted out, man. It was big time. But now we're right in there. We got actually we got a material surface there now that's not going to corrode. It's not wear or load bearing. It's only locating. We just hit the corners with our little deburr and break this edge right here on this coupling, and we're going to break that inside edge as well, and get a bit in here now that we can do that. We just looked at it real close, and we just angled and turned our insert in. We're about a good 2 thicknesses of thumbnail there from our shaft, and we're able to reach in and grab that and then come out and we'll kiss this right here. That side over there. There we go. Just in time. Okay, we're all done lapping this last coupling here. Now I wanted to point out that, and this is ready to go. I tapped the key into there. I got a good slide fit here on the key. Of course, part of the old key was rusted away, and we got a nice, good new key there, and it's all proper clearance and everything else all the way in there. And I left the top of this square to actually fit in there really nice. My main showing here is when you mount a propeller on a shaft, it sings like a church bell. When you slide on or slap a taper bore coupling home, it sounds like you're putting your finger in your mouth and popping it like that, okay? And then that is the sound that ensures that you have put that coupling on and there's no particles or dirt or grit or anything hindering. There's no key bound. That's mating taper to taper, and it has that sound. Just wanted to point that out. There we are. Steady rest is in. Live center's in. Alright, and we've slid the coupling on there. Now we don't run any nuts or anything else on here, because nuts would only offset or cock the thread at the end, which will make the center drill cock off, and then it will move your shaft around. So we face it without anything, so we got the natural true running axis here to do the facing. There's no need to run that on there because it's not going to break loose from the taper because the tapers fit right. Okay, there's about 6 thousandths there to get a clean surface across here. Alright, we're going to do the same thing. Just break that edge right there and break this edge out here. Alright, there we go. Then we'll just break these with the twist auger that we have. Okay, I'm getting ready to do the last step, and that's polish my shaft here and kind of get rid of the roller rest marks and any other little blems of me handling it and putting it in and out of the lathe, and any little minor little flaws that got on the surface here. I can polish those out real quick, and I like to hand polish in the lathe while it's spinning. Now, I'm not a safety Nazi, and because there's plenty of them out there. I stand there and I handle my paper with two hands straight out in front of me. I don't have anything that's out here getting caught. And of course, some of you, when I started wearing my sweatshirts, everybody was concerned about my strings. I pulled those out of here. This does not grow. It's not growing any longer than it is, and it stays in next to my body, so it's not a hassle. Some of the film footage and some of the viewing that you actually see of my beard tail sticking out is nowhere near the work. Okay, I'm the first one that doesn't want my face dragged into the cut. Okay, there's safety films out there that actually show accidents happening. Okay, now 99% of accidents happen because the operator is not fully focused on the job that he's doing. Machinery is dangerous, okay? And why he doesn't have his thought fully on his project, there are several different ways. But being through the different businesses and working alongside co-workers and everything else, there's all kinds of problems, home problems, girlfriend problems, wife problems, money problems. There's all kinds of things like this, and that's kind of why safety meetings are coming in early and kind of like shooting the breeze with your buds and stuff like that. Kind of those are tools of unloading, freeing your thoughts, so that when you get to work and you're working, you've got a clear head. All right, and I know one of the hardest things to get by is not thinking about that new girlfriend. Besides that, drugs. Okay, save that for your parties on your weekends if it's illegal drugs. But legal drugs also, there's a lot that say do not operate heavy machinery, but because money's tight and this and that, and you're forced, you take your medicine so that you can clear your fever, your head cold, or whatever is ailment you have going on, so you can keep on trucking. Some of that can fog your thought as well. All right. One of the safety films that's actually out there is a guy polishing, and he's standing about this position in the lathe, and then all of a sudden he's going to polish that over there. So he's out like this, okay? You might as well grab a hold of this bar and go for the ride. Right here. Sometimes when it's a brand new piece of paper, you can't even hang on to that paper. It will spit it out there. Okay? That's why I never roll this paper and never tuck it. Never tuck it like this. It'll grab it. It'll shorten your fingernails and everything else. And spinning, a shaft in a lathe, I always make sure it's all the way into the chuck there. I do have my steady rest out here and open. This is most common practice polishing, because usually my shafts are longer than this. Other than that, I run the tailstock in the end. Now, I have been back to another operator in another lathe right behind me one time, and he was polishing a bronze shaft, and he accidentally had the gearbox in a speed that was well over 1500 RPMs, and the shaft wasn't true running, and it started to wobble, and it grew, and it actually came out of the center on that end. Now at 1500 RPMs or whatever speed it was, that thing is whipping around and it's slapping the side of the lathe here or there. Billy's one of my friends in the shop at the time. He was on the other side of Harvey. Harvey was the one that accidentally engaged the lathe, but Harvey knew about it. He didn't know what speed it was, and he engaged it. And I had my back to him, and as soon as I heard the RPMs up and the first clank, I dove to the ground. I just figured it was the safest place, and every guy in that shop was either moving away from this thing or bailing out of the office to find out what the rattle was in the shop. It was pretty serious stuff. We ended up making the customer a brand new shaft because that nearly finished, just need to be polished shaft belonged to a customer. And luckily nobody got hurt. The machine did suffer some pretty good pounds on the ways. The blade still seen many more years of use, and you know, it was that was the nearest accident that I was ever taken out by somebody else. So anyway, I'm going to get polishing on here, but I wanted to touch bases on that. And OSHA has a lot of safety rules, and those rules are made up by percentages of accidents, and those accidents are caused because people are not focused on what they're doing, and that's why we have guards for guards in the system now. All right, enough safety. I hate talking about it because it all has to do with the mental state of the operator, and it's always pinpointed at not having the right safety in my mind. All right. Alright, we got a machine that washes the surface on the prop nuts, and we're going to go ahead and make flat washers to come up against that butt end of the coupling on the other end. Alright, let's get it done.